Hey everyone, this is Russ, and this is the first of 4 videos on where to start in Logic Pro X. This first video is called Logic or. Alright, so let's get started. This is. Logic for Newbies. Yeah. So, if you guys like what you see here, please subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Would appreciate it. Like. Anyways, here we go. Logic or. Alright. So, my suggestion is to consider what you are pursuing before you jump into Logic. Your decision may change over time, but get a starting point. So for me, a few years ago, I was recording in GarageBand. I was creating songs. I was going through a difficult time that brought out a lot of my creative spirit, and I felt like I was making some great tracks. And over that year, I decided, hey man, I'm gonna get Logic because that's the next step, right? Like, because in my brain is like in GarageBand, none of this stuff sounds radio ready, and on your own, you can't go into GarageBand and make radio ready songs necessarily. It's very difficult. Like in Logic and any other DAW like that you move on to that are the ones that you pay for, you can get other plugins and stuff that really enhances your sound to make that radio ready kind of thing. So when I got into Logic at that time, I was like, I opened it up and I was like, and I can tell you, I hate reading stuff. I hate things that are difficult to learn. I don't like that. So for me, I just quit. I stopped recording. Once in a while, I go back into GarageBand and I would start recording, but for a couple of years there, I stopped. And then what ended up happening for me was that I got off work and I decided to like jump into Logic, and I was getting passionate about the production side of things. And so the strange thing is that I started getting educated. I started reading up and watching videos. Like I have spent hours and hours and hours learning a lot about Logic because I'm passionate about it now, that I want to produce music. So that's the thing, is you got to decide where you're starting from. So my suggestion is based on, so you got to think of it this way. GarageBand is kind of like the minor leagues, and Logic is the major leagues. So some people, like in sports, like some people aren't quite ready to hit the majors, and so they need time in the minors to refine their skills. Some people are ready. You know, some people are Zion Williamson, and they're ready to go, right? Get into Logic, get on it. Some of the things to think about as you're thinking of should I jump right into Logic are, it's your pursuits, right? Like it's different. If you are trying to write songs, I would suggest that you get creative and just get to know things in GarageBand. Because unless you got a lot of money, like if you got a lot of disposable income to buy a bunch of plugins and all the gear that you would need to just build it up, if you don't have that kind of finances, I would say stay in GarageBand, create. Get into buy yourself a MIDI controller. We're going to get into gear in one of the 4 videos we're going to talk about, and what gear you would use between, where you're at. But, just start creating. Just get to know the instruments within GarageBand. And the great thing about GarageBand is when you're ready to go to Logic, and maybe those projects weren't quite good in GarageBand and you would like to soup it up, is that you can take those projects and you can bring them into Logic and fix it and make it bigger. So a lot of the instruments that are already, like all the plugins that are already in GarageBand, are transferable to Logic, so you don't lose those sounds that you've created. Maybe you want to lose those sounds because they kind of sucked and you want that to move on, right? There's a difference though too. Like if you're trying to get into TV production or movie production, the sound expectation is kind of different. Unless you're trying to do that radio ready pop song right off the bat, that's comparable. But like if you're just trying to just create a song, because the important thing in getting into music with regards to radio is really it's writing a good song. So if you aren't writing good songs yet, I would suggest sticking in GarageBand and then moving into Logic. This I hope helped you in sort of formulating your thoughts and your decisions. There's things to think about. I can't, my experience is different than yours, right? So if you have questions or comments, that's I think more applicable than me trying to give every single example in this video, that I can help maybe steer you in your direction and things like that. Let's do that in the comment page. But for now, let's move on. I hope this video sort of helps you in processing and thinking. And the next 3 videos will go hand in hand to maybe help you formulate that decision making as we move on. Thanks for listening again, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Have a good one.